You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog.
Whoa, whoa.
We are already dying laughing. Today is going to be a fun one, I can already tell. But my name is Kinsey, and joining me today, we have one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media, and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
Cheers.
We got our Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time All-Pro cornerback, Aqib Talib. The king of quarterback breakdowns, the guy who's not wearing a hat today. We got Cody Kessler.
And fade out.
And 3-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl winning safety, TJ Ward.
Baby. So, Kinsey, I keep waiting for the bombshell to drop because this man across from me over here keeps saying Denver's going to make another big move, and I keep waiting.
It might be the draft.
And wait. Oh,
the draft.
It might be the draft, Skip.
Yeah.
So just,
maybe they're just getting gun shy in Denver.
Hey, come on, Skip.
Come on.
You still don't believe me? You still don't believe me, Skip?
No,
unfortunately,
I do, and I'm dreading what's about to happen.
It might be on draft day.
Yeah, okay.
Just know that.
Know that?
All right.
Okay. There you go.
I hope we get a big splash just so we can hear Skip on the couch. I want a big splash from Denver. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about today. We got the Jaguars expect Travis Hunter to be a full-time corner.
There you go.
Wild, because we've argued this all year long. And then, is there a potential reunion in the works for Odell Beckham Jr. and the Giants? Wow. That would be crazy. And then we dive into how much pressure is Lamar Jackson under with his lack of playoff success. So, as always, you guys, this episode is presented by Underdog. Underdog's available in most states, including Texas, California, and Florida. New customers get $50 in bonus entries when they play just $5 to get started. Use code GRID when you sign up, and it'll load instantly. Underdog, make picks, win money with code GRID. So, first thing that I really want to talk about, because this was an argument that I swear would go on for hours between the three of you especially, was where what position Travis Hunter should be at, right? And when we're looking back at last season, he played 486 snaps, obviously before his injury, and 67% of them were on offense, which is what you wanted. But these boys over here actually agreed on one thing. They wanted him on defense. So what do we think is going to happen next year? Let's see, Skip, I'm going to go with Cody, actually. Let's start with Cody.
Let me take it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll take this one.
Let me take this.
They're saying he's going to end up at corner.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Travis Hunter being at corner mostly this next season?
I think this is the right move. Look, I advocated all last year for him to be used more as a wide receiver rather than at corner. And because of his talent, man, his ball skills, body control, route running, catch radius, what he can do with the ball in his hands after the catch, I think he has all the talent and potential to be a star wide receiver in this league. And I still believe that. But I like the idea of letting him play one position and focus solely on that position, regardless of if it's corner or wide receiver. Because last year, when you watched the Jaguars, it felt like they really didn't have a plan for Travis Hunter, and they were trying different things, hoping something would work. Because the first game, he plays a lot more wide receiver. Then the second game, it's a little bit more 50-50. Then the third game, they try him more at DB. And then they go a couple games in a row where he's playing primarily wide receiver and leading them in targets and catches. Then they go back to DB a little bit before he gets an injury. They didn't allow him to maximize his potential on either side of the football. That's what you have to do with Travis Hunter. You can't overload him both mentally and physically, especially with him coming back from an injury. So I think by them allowing him to focus on one side of the football while still getting some reps on offense, while still having some packages at wide receiver, which I think they will do with Liam Cohen, will help him elevate his game to the next level. But I will say this, Travis Hunter is one of one. He is a unique athlete, so I don't want to put limitations on what he can do in the NFL. I think eventually, once he gets more comfortable and more experience, he'll be able to play consistently on both sides of the football and be effective at both. But for right now, I like it. Put him at DB, let him be a lockdown corner like I know he can, and then also have some packages as well on offense so he can come in and make some explosive plays.
Okay, but I thought you were going to die on the hill of he should be a receiver and he should practice full-time at receiver. Right?
I would personally, as a former quarterback, I would love for him to still play primarily wide receiver, but I'm okay with this, Skip, because of the big picture of everything. Let him focus on one position, regardless of what it is, so that he can maximize his potential. He can master that. Once he gets comfortable, maybe start putting him a little bit more at wide receiver and increase that workload on both sides of the ball. Now, you want to protect his body. He's still a young player. You don't want to have him have another injury. But at the end of the day, I'm fine with them allowing him to just play primarily one position because I think it'll elevate his game.
But there's Ian Rappaport is saying he's going to be a full-time corner, but part-time receiver. So
and I
still gonna play both.
He will. And my argument's always been, you got to get timing down with Trevor Lawrence. You got to do all those things. That was the rookie argument. They have a little bit of rapport now. They've been on the same page. He had a couple big games with Trevor Lawrence. So now that they have that connection, he won't be needed as much with routes on air and 7-on-7. Yeah. Focus on defense, get a couple packages on offense, and hopefully they elevate his game this year.
Liam should have listened to me. This is what I said since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You play him full-time at corner because it's harder to play corner. It's harder to get in that groove and, find that rhythm at corner. That's why you got to let him play full-time at corner. And then you just give him a couple packages at receiver because, even I played receiver sporadic. Receiver easy. It's easy to do.
Oh, hot take.
It's one of the easier positions in football, you know what I'm saying? It's not like playing DB. So I said it this whole time, man. He's a natural DB, a 6-foot guy. He can do it all, zone man. He can run. You see him running down the field with Xavier Worthy last year. You know what I'm saying? Stride for stride with Xavier Worthy. That's one of the fastest receivers in the league. He stride for stride with him. So he can run, man. He can do it all, man. And the more he plays in practice in the games, the better he gonna learn the little nuances of it, the crack replay. He was late on a couple crack replaces. You could see it last year because he ain't really getting that rhythm. Now you let him play it full time, he'll be in that rhythm. His tackling to be able to show up, his instincts to really be able to show up. You know what I'm saying? You put him at corner full time, and then you can just create packages like you said for him, man. Nice little red zone package to let him use them ball skills. You could bring him in the game, put the ball in his hands, jets, screens. You could play action deep shots. You could let the other guys run play action deep shots and check it down to him and get it to him in
Put
space.
him in the backfield.
Put him in the backfield.
Mismatches,
you know what I'm saying? You could do all kind of stuff. But when he come in, it's not like last year, him having a bunch of decoy routes or just being the second option on it. That's bullshit. That ain't how you use a guy like that. So Liam should have listened to me, man. I do this shit, Skip. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I tried to tell him last year. Hey, man, we'll see the real Travis Hunter this year.
Aqib's confidence is something to be studied.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I was saying last year as well, man. You can't come in and out of a defensive DB mentality. Like, you could come out of playing receiver, part-time, going to receiver, like Leaf said. Give me the ball, find ways to use my athleticism. That's not going to go nowhere. But that mentality that you got to have to play corner, it's got to be there full time. And you cannot go back and forth. Now, Travis, we all talk about defense winning championships. Why not have the best player, the most athletic player on this field shutting down the number one receiver for the other team?
Easy.
We see it year in, year out. The defense, if you have the top defense, you can get away with having subpar offense in this league and still win a Super Bowl. We've seen it year in and year out. So if I'm the Jags, I'm looking at it like this. We have the most athletic player probably in the NFL, right?
I mean, maybe in the history.
One of them for sure.
One of them for sure.
Yeah.
Use them sparingly on offense.
Yeah.
Like you guys said, create packages for them. Let them come in, play 10 to 15 plays on offense. But your bread and butter, this defensive side of the ball, playing cornerback, is timing, is repetition, and it's a dog mentality. To go out there and shut down the number one receiver. To go out there and be a willing tackler. To go out there, anticipate routes, anticipate formations, anticipate checks. Like, that's something you can't be part-time with. Right. You got to be full-time with that type of mentality, that type of preparation. Now, the offensive side of the ball, do what you do. Like, you 6+, run a 4-3, jump through the roof. You're going to be able to do that out your sleep. We'll put you on the reverse and put you on offense sparingly. But full-time, let you be a master of something. You don't want to be a master of none in this league. You got to master something first before you try to do multiple things.
Point.
That's just what it is.
Go
ahead.
Before you go, Skip, that communication is key too with the DBs. Like, I can't have a different safety. I'm communicating with Bub, and then it's another guy back there. Like, that's why we don't sub like that, because it's a bunch of communication. They line up in a bunch, we got to communicate. They motion, we got to communicate. That's why the O-line don't sub, because they got to communicate. That's like a real team within the team. It's the O-line and them DBs. Like, it's so much communication.
Sometimes
It's
you take
hard
that look.
to sub.
Like,
you got to be used to communicating with a certain guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to sub like that.
My only pushback on that, though, is, playing wide receiver in the NFL is a little more difficult than you guys are making it sound because, you obviously have to have the timing and the connection with your quarterback, but there's also route adjustments that you have to be able to understand. And Travis Hunter's a smart player, but coverages in the NFL are a lot different than coverages in college. They're more complex. They do a better job of disguising them. I can have you run a seam route, but it could have 4 different adjustments based on leverage and coverage. You've got to build that timing. Now, the way around that is to give him just basic end arounds or flat routes, slants, go routes, make it a little bit more simple for him within the offense. But there's a little more, things that you've got to learn at receiver that takes time that you can't just throw them out there and say go.
I'm not really saying it's easier. I'm just saying it's easier to have him be effective on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
Right? Than to be truly effective as a cornerback. Because there ain't no plays off at cornerback. It's plays off at wide receiver. Many plays. You run the ball, if you blocking, find a zone. If you in
and they sub.
Yeah, they
sub, period. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
but what I'm saying is if I got a seam, it's either, all right, if it's single high, I run it right here.
No.
If it's too high, I split it
No.
right here. It ain't rocket science.
No.
Really?
It's not that hard now. It's not like we run 1,000 different coverages. We could count the coverages that the NFL players run on 2 hands. We got this many coverages.
But it's not just the coverages. It's the way that they disguise them. It's the different leverages that they use. It's a different type of defender you're going against. How do they play this certain type of coverage?
You can't practice that. You can't practice going against Lieb at your practice.
Yeah, but you can get those looks at practice saying, hey, if they're playing cover 4, yeah, you might not get the personnel that you want because you're going against scout teams.
This is going to be Talib. He's going to play it like this. And I'm going to play that shit totally different when we get in the game.
Right?
You know how that shit go.
Them coaches on offense, they know how that shit playing.
Undercut it. He going to undercut it every time.
But you know what?
Out of here.
That's perfect. So now at practice, I show you 4 different looks running the same play so you're ready to react to whatever Lieb does in the game. If you're not getting a ton of reps at that wide receiver, it's hard to do on the fly. That's why I think they'll simplify it a little bit for him with those packages.
Yeah, exactly.
But receiver is a damn difficult position to play.
Yeah, but if you got a spread route, you got to spread route.
You got
to sell, you got to sell.
If we get in the red zone, hey, if he high, I'm going to back shoulder it. If you beat him off the line, I'm going to throw it to the corner. Like, bro,
but that doesn't happen overnight.
He was a J.
You've got to build that connection and that chemistry with your quarterback. But also to your point, if I'm running a sail route and the corner's over the top or someone's playing high, then I flatten it. If they undercut, I need to know that I could take it a little bit higher. If it's 2-man, let me stem inside because I know I have a trail defender. Then work out.
Why you put them in them type of situations? We gonna put you in a situation where we know they playing cover 2. You run a seam like prime.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I wish it was that easy.
Quarterbacks go to the combine and throw a million new receivers for the money,
and they don't look great doing it because
but I'm saying, but they still do it. They still do it. This is. But
we're not talking about the combine. I'm talking about a game situation where we have a Travis Hunter package in, and we're down by 6. We're in the red zone, and I need you to know how to react to this coverage to make a big time crucial play. Now I don't know how they're going to use them, and Liam might go use other receivers. And Jacoby Myers played well last year, so I think that played a factor in that. They've added more depth.
Had a couple
BTJ.
of them played well.
But yeah, I just wanted to back up the receivers. It's not as easy.
Man, that's
look, you're just not gonna put him. He ain't gonna be your number 1, so you're not gonna have him doing all them rewrites. You're gonna be, especially in the red zone. Mike Vrabel was in the red zone catching touchdowns. You think Travis Hunter can't go?
This gonna be a post corner. I don't give a fuck what they in, Travis. If they in man, you run the post corner.
But you got to
cover 2. You run the post corner.
But a post corner turns into a circus route, which is a stem in, push up, break out. If it's a cloud cover, you don't run a post corner versus cover 2.
I know that. I know if I run a post corner and he high, I'm gonna flatten that bitch out.
Yeah, but you don't just flatten her out. Now you run a circus, which you stem inside, push vertical, and then you break flat. You don't run straight post corner. Like there's adjustments within an offense that you have to get comfortable doing at practice. That's why.
How often will he get an adjustment like that?
Pretty significant. I think he would. I mean, even if we just bring him in, hey, let's run 2x2. Yeah. You're the F receiver, and we're running a seam. If I get cover 4, cover 6, cover 2, cover 1, cover 3, those all could be differently by the way that you stem, release, and break off in your break.
But cover 4, cover 2, and cover 6, if I'm on the too high side, all of them I'm going to be going to the safety. I'm going to be crossing his face. That's going to be my coaching point. Cross his face.
Yeah, but the difference between 2 and 4, I can stem outside a little bit more, maybe takes 3 steps out to sell it, break flat, cover 4, they're lower, so I've got to almost turn it into an in cut. There's different nuances.
How much is that is pre-snap prep when you come up to the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's both
knowing the defense, right?
Pre and post.
So you could take four of those factors out. It's going to be cover 2 or it's going to be cover 6, right?
All right, we got the offense
It
and the
depends
defense
on
argument.
post
Let's
snap,
get
too,
Skip. I want to hear what side you're going to take.
Before I launch on this, and I'm about to launch,
Take off.
Hey, Skip's not on my side. I'm ready for the 3v1.
I'm not on your side about receivers in that the most effective or one of the most effective combinations I ever watched up close and personal was Troy Aikman throwing to Michael Irvin. They had 3 routes, only 3 routes. They ran an out, they ran a slant, and they ran the bang 8 post, and that's
They
it.
perfected
It's,
it. They
it's just,
perfected 'em.
it's all Michael wanted to run. It's all Troy wanted to throw. And when push came to shove, even when Dion in an NFC championship game was taking Michael man-to-man, one-on-one for the rest of the game after they fell behind 21-3, right?
Yeah,
At
give a
Candlestick.
They was both balls.
You know, they were both. It was the greatest matchup I
that was
ever witnessed. It's the one game I would pay to see. If I could go back in time, I would pay a lot of money to go sit up close and watch it.
But
okay.
we all know Michael Irvin is the category and the list he's on is about this.
I got
so
it. He's
unique.
pushing everybody away. Yeah, he's just shoving. But the point is, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
I do have to first call out our resident genius over here on the edge of the couch.
Wow, that was nice.
Because the first day I ever met you was last summer. I guess it was late August out here before a rehearsal for this show. And as I walked in, you and Coach Gruden, Jay Gruden, were discussing, you were arguing about this, about what should Travis Hunter be. And you were saying at that point, receiver. When I walked up, you were pushing for him to be a receiver. I said, wait a second. I didn't even know you. And I said, timeout. In all my time watching, studying the game that you played at the highest level, there's one thing I just can't find. One thing doesn't grow on Southern California palm trees, and it's cornerback. It's a handful. It's a gift. It's like a once a generation where you can find one guy who can take one side of the field and just say, you can't have this side of the field. It's rare. And you had it. And this kid has it up to Dion potential. I'm not saying he's Dion yet, but he's got potential from what I saw at Colorado. I couldn't see it last year because he barely got to play. But he is not only a you, he could be a little better than you, just a little better because he's more gifted in every way, shape, and form. And I think I turned you around on that as we talked right there. Okay, I did. Okay,
you did.
Just for the record. So here's my big picture point about this. I watched the Jacksonville Jaguars trade up for the second overall pick. They went from 5 to 2, and they spent a ton. They gave a second, a fourth, and this coming draft's first pick. Okay, so they gave a ton to go 3 spots up to go get a life changer, right? And they land Travis Hunter. I was like, God, that's a great move. Way to go. And then the season starts, and they have no idea how to use him. They had a plan to go get him, and you would think they would maximize the use of him even as a rookie. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I think we all sat here in different ways week after week and said, come on, man. So he lasted 7 games, and he played 67% of the snaps on offense and 36% of the snaps on defense. And the first thing that hit me was, he is a gifted corner. Like, you can't do that to him because, as Aqib would, both of you guys would know better than anybody, on defense, you have to ease into it. You have to get the rhythm of it, especially if you're covering somebody for much of the game. You have to start to read them, to feel them, to get their body language, to get their rhythm of playing. And you can't do it in a series here and then 4 series later you go back in for a couple of plays. Yeah. You can't do it. No. It's a waste of your God-given gift, man. You're just screwing it up. And I thought he was getting bored after a while because he just didn't play that many snaps both ways, where he was completely, ridiculously, foolishly underutilized for game after game. And then just because I've seen a lot of this online and I want to dispel this. Okay, so he did tear his LCL. Okay, he tore the outside, the lateral, bless you. The lateral, and it was complete freakish, flukish practice, non-contact. I don't know what happened. I'm having to trust what they say, that he was just doing something in practice and it went.
Miles, Skip.
Huh?
That's the miles they was putting on him in college.
Okay, I don't think so.
Me neither.
I just don't believe that, because this is as freakish an injury, because that's the one that never tears by itself. You know, the ACL tears by itself, the MCL sometimes by itself, usually the ACL, but the LCL never tears alone. And the ACL is fine, the MCL is fine, all the cushion is fine, all the meniscus is fine. And so it's going to be an easy rehab. They said he'll be back right on time. So I don't believe that had anything to do with overuse. Okay, so I know Dion. I know you know Dion. I talked to him. I had him on my show, on my podcast, talking about Travis ahead of the draft last year. And he said flat out, they should use him exactly the way I used him at Colorado, because he can do this.
Yeah.
And he's not a high contact player. It's not like, you know, he'll tackle. He's like Dion. If it's time to get somebody on the ground, he'll get him on the ground. But he's not going to go try to blow up plays. He's not, you know, he's not going to come up and just try to annihilate people. He doesn't play that way. And he's not a physical receiver. He's a gifted receiver. So he's not Puka trying to run over everybody after he catches the ball. So Dion said, just let him play. What did he play at Colorado? He played 714 offensive snaps his Heisman year and 748 on defense. It's really high. You're going both ways. You're a two-way player.
Yeah.
And because of Dion saying, I promise you he can do this, I just said, one day he's going to revolutionize pro football, and he's going to be the first in the modern era to make a Pro Bowl in the same year on offense and defense, because he is capable of doing that. So the point is, now this is correct. They went back to, the first thing you got to do is establish him as a Pro Bowl cornerback.
Right.
And then you let him ease into the rest of it. And I do think, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is gifted enough in his own right. He can figure this out. And no,
He had a great year.
yeah, Travis can't practice, like take every snap on offense.
Yeah.
But he could have a simple package where you just kind of trust his talent. You just trust it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, he's going to run a go route. Well, we saw him in the one, was it a Monday night game where didn't he catch a go route against Kansas City? I believe he
He
did.
ran that deep over,
Yeah,
the
the deep
scramble
over.
drill,
Yeah.
and that was the play. I was like,
Okay.
body control,
Yeah.
the catch
Stupid body
radius.
control.
Well, that's who he is.
That man at receiver.
Yeah, but you know, once you play a receiver, it's not many majority receivers in the both way category
No.
that play DB or defense, right? Troy Brown did it a little bit for the Patriots, but you just don't see that. You don't, a lot of stuff we talking about you don't see in general with Travis, but it's just like it's a harder transition to be at a receiver full time and then go play DB.
It is.
It's an easier transition to be at
That's
DB
why I changed my
full-time.
mind. That's why I
Yeah.
changed my
Okay.
mind. I'm like, all right, if you got to do one full time, then you probably got to do the DB full time.
You got to.
And I was fresh off seeing them. See, why I said receiver first, because I was fresh off seeing them in person,
Okay.
playing receiver at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was actually in Boulder, so I was
Yep.
at that game on the sideline.
Okay.
And this motherfucker was just
He would just,
I'm like, oh my God, it was the screens, the short space quickness, the catch and run. Everything about it was like,
Hands.
the hands. I'm like, bro, he can be great at receiver, but he also had an interception that game and dropped 2 of them.
He
You
did.
feel me?
He did.
So,
Yeah, it was just a game.
I was the same way leading up to the draft, watching this tape. Like I could sit there and we could go through his offensive snaps, and you would say, "All right, I'm done. Put him at receiver." Well, then we would turn on his defensive snaps, and then you'd be like, "Well, wait a minute, maybe you put him at corner." That's
Right.
just how talented he is. But I will say this: I do agree with one thing. I was defending receivers, but I do think it is significantly harder to be a lockdown corner than it is being a wide receiver in the NFL. That's one of the most difficult positions to play because you have to react to what the top receivers are doing. You're backpedaling. It's tough, and sometimes you're on an island. So I do think it's easier to play receiver. But I'll also say this, too. I wasn't just saying Travis Hunter can't do it. He's not capable of learning this because he played receiver at college at a high level and he saw all these different coverages and he knows how to make route adjustments. I'm just saying it's a different level getting to the NFL. Now you have a new quarterback. So those reps at practice are important.
Okay. So in the end, they're on the right track here.
Okay.
But I can't believe they wasted his rookie year like that. It's just.
Well, they tried, though.
Yeah.
When they tried,
If he wasn't injured, maybe they would have turned around mid-season, gone with the corner position. But
they tried to let him do what's important. All right, if we playing the Bengals, all right, you're gonna play a lot of defense this game.
Yeah.
We playing these, you're gonna play a lot of offense. They try to do it like that, but I just don't think that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Because in the end, the Patrick Surtains, they don't come along very often. They just don't. Seriously, those where you have a legit lockdown corner who can take away. Surtain can take away anybody, to me.
Yep.
You just say, you have him, and all of a sudden the quarterback's going to start thinking twice about, well, I guess I can't go over there, right?
Immediately.
Yeah.
And then he ain't going to think twice. He going to see him over there, and your target's going to go down immediately.
Okay.
Simple as that.
That's who this kid is.
I believe it.
If you let him establish himself as a cornerback first, and then figure out the rest of it.
All right, so 80% of the chat is with you guys, and they want to see Travis Hunter mostly at corner. But so you said, though, Aqib, did you mean this, that wide receiver is one of the easiest positions on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the edge players on defense as the wide receivers on defense, right?
Okay.
They really, they running, they attacking. O-lineman got to stop them. The edge on defense and the receivers on offense, them the easiest positions to me.
Yeah, but receiver.
We're gonna get him fired.
Well, no, but receiver's such a dependable position.
Yeah.
It's easier when you have a great quarterback that understands how to throw you open and understands coverages as well.
But even
So
if
it
you
depends,
don't,
but
you still can be cold. Like, I mean, the cold receivers, they cold with any quarterback. Anybody who Moss had, he was cold. Anybody who Jamar Chase had, he cold. It's like, I don't know, if you ain't scared to get hit, if you get over that hump, I ain't scared to get hit, bro. The receiver is easy, bro. I did this shit, bro. I did it in college. Man, look, I ain't practice. He put me in. I did it in high school, put me in. Hey, run a seam on this sorry ass safety. Oop, hit his ass up. That shit was easy, bro. It was easy to me, bro. I'm just going off experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking from experience.
Hey.
I played DB.
That's
I played safety. Kansas moved me to safety my freshman year. I played the whole spring at safety. Had 2 picks in the spring game.
So you're saying that's also easy?
No, safety was hard. Shit, I had to tackle. I had to really have my mind right to come hit these running backs and shit when I played safety. I played safety. I played corner. I played receiver. Receiver was the easiest one. It was easy.
You know,
Corner,
I think
I
I need the easy button.
I came in to college as a corner. I got my scholarship at corner. Had some knee injuries, moved to safety. Corner, you got to be dialed in.
Yeah.
You got to be mentally tough.
Like,
bro.
the mental different. Every play, run, pass, earn different.
Bro, you think about it, at
I'll be
corner,
locked
you
in.
give up 50% of the passes. Everybody do. You look at Patrick Peterson. I mean, you look at Pastor Tan. He give up 50% of the passes thrown at him. And you just got to be cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get beat
Short
50%
memory,
of the time.
that mental toughness.
You got to be cool with that.
And you could do everything perfect, but then a quarterback throws a great ball location throw.
But that don't mean it's not easy, though. I still
no.
left him, and then the quarterback threw the ball. I'm like, bro, throw me the ball.
No, I was
Like,
talking about. I was backing you up, saying corner
yeah.
is so difficult. You could do everything right and still be wrong on that play.
And still get a ball caught on you, right?
All right. Well,
you know, to me, the easiest position on offense that translates the fastest is running back. Like you can just, they can give
if
you
you have a good O-line.
If you think you got to be tough to play receiver and catch the ball and be a running back.
Got to block that.
Yeah,
blitz.
running back.
Bro, that running back
that
takes
blitz
a
coming
beating.
in.
Okay, I
get
got
that ball and
but,
you have.
But the mental part of it is not as much as the receiving part. That like you're asked to
It's
do
not.
more mentally as a receiver
But the
than a running
physical
back.
part with you get the ball and there's 44 fucking eyes on you.
I understand that.
Like,
yeah.
bro.
You're saying mentally it's tougher to be a receiver?
Yes.
I disagree because running back, you got to worry about pass protection.
Pass pro.
You got to worry about re-identifications. You got to worry about Jesse Minter bringing 8 to the line, the quarterback sending it there, knowing I've got Sam, Mike to full scan. Like, I think the mental side for running back might be a little bit more difficult just because of pass pro, Skip.
And the physical side is unmatched to any position in football.
Yeah. But year after year, we see rookie running backs just step in and do it. Because if you can simplify, I know I'm going back to my Cowboy days, Emmitt Smith, he just stepped in and they said, okay, they tried to have him hit a hole, and after a while they just said, we'll just call plays Emmitt right, Emmitt left. Seriously, it's Emmitt right, Emmitt left, and just hand it to him to the right or the left and let him just run to daylight. Okay? Yeah. Now the pickup, the blitz pickup is just innate. To me, you just tell him, okay, a lot of times he's swinging out and he's going to catch the ball. But,
hopefully, yeah. If you don't need him in pass pro, yeah.
Exactly. But in the, I know you care about pass pro, but in the big picture, a lot of coaches initially care about being able to run the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have some vision.
I agree.
But I feel like the physical part of it
is
so hard that it's not the easiest because it's like, bro.
11 trying to take your head off as soon as you get the ball.
It's so physical that it can't be the easiest. This position back here can't be the easiest one. Like, it's just too physical.
Okay, but I watched Ezekiel Elliott. He just stepped in and,
that was a great O-line.
He also looked like
Zeke's a great player. Zeke's a great player.
He also looked like a created man if he walked in this motherfucker. Like, he like this much taller than me and huge. Like, bro, that's a
he's a load.
Monster, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, not everybody's built like Zeke and can run like Zeke. And they did have a great offensive line.
Great offensive line.
Yeah, for a little while.
You look at Genty, shit, he was out there getting toe up before he even got the ball, man. That's a whole nother topic.
I've seen receivers just, they watch film on themselves. Like, I got to stop taking these steps. Like I can't.
You also get hit too, those hospital balls.
I know that's what
I'd rather be the one hitting than being the one that's catching a ball and
that's
getting.
But when you know them hospital balls,
no thank you.
You know them hospital balls, Kinsey? The person who doing the hitting, they get up seeing them same dots sometimes. That shit hurt us too. It ain't just like it don't hurt us when we hit, right, bub? You feel me? The hit gonna hurt too. You know what I'm saying?
At least you're ready for it. I'm a receiver going up for the ball.
But it's almost better when you not anticipating it.
You're relaxed,
right?
your body's
Because you're relaxed. You know, like them.
All right, well, let's talk about a receiver then, okay? Because we all saw OBJ at the Flag Football Classic, right? And he has some nice, one-handed OBJ moves. And potentially there might be some talk about him rejoining the Giants. So ESPN, Peter said that they wouldn't close the door on a potential reunion at all. This would be crazy. So John Harbaugh was asked about the Giants signing OBJ, and he definitely seemed interested. I want to play that.
If Odell's an option, then we'll be looking at it for sure. And he and I do talk, and we do text, and we've maintained a really great relationship. He's one of my very favorite people in the world. So it's not like you don't talk to guys about things like that, and certainly we have. We'll just have to see where it all goes. What's best for him, what's best for the Giants. That's the number one thing. It is what's best for our team. And any player, if he helps you be a better team and can make you better, then you're going to pursue that. So we'll just have to see where that goes.
I personally see that kind of as like a PR, like beating around. But Aqib, I would
Harbaugh full of PR answers, bro.
Just beating around.
That's all he do. But
would you bring back Odell Beckham if you were at Harbaugh?
Man, O is 33 years old. He had turned 34 in November, I think, during the season. He missed a whole year of football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you know anything about he work hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? He gonna work out. He's a workout king. He gonna work out, do all different kind of workouts. And he probably in tremendous shape, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And he showed in the flag. He had a great flag outing. Showed he damn sure still got them hands. You know what I'm saying? But me, I wouldn't do it, man. I need young juice. Especially not for this roster, man. You look at the wideouts who the Giants got already, man. They got their number one. You got Neighbors. He a young Odell type receiver.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? You got a slot. Yep. You just got Calvin Austin in there. He played 170 plus plays in the slot. Half his snaps came from the slot. He could really be your slot. Mooney played 100 plus slot plays in the slot. You know what I'm saying? You got your vets who battling for the number 2, Slayton, Hyatt. You could throw Mooney in there too. They battling for that Z receiver spot. So I don't really see where O would fit in for real. But I need young juice. If I'm the Giants, I'm drafting a receiver with that 37th pick in the second round. I'm going probably defense, one of them big-time defensive guys at 5 or whatever they got. Second round, 37. Now I'm drafting either a big body possession receiver who could battle with those guys, who I think could be a immediate number 2. Maybe Boston from Washington. Maybe Brazel from Tennessee.
Yeah, he's good.
You know what I'm saying? One of them big guys who
they'll be there at 30.
They'll be there in that second round. One of those guys who will fall. Maybe if Cooper, who is Indiana Cooper, maybe he might fall to the beginning of the second. You know what I'm saying? I'll go him. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds. He can go. Or I'm going explosion slot who can return for me like Zachariah Branch. I think he'll be there too. So I don't know. I might. If I do pick up another receiver on my roster, if I'm the Giants, it's gonna be one of these young cats with this juice, man. Edge and receiver, I need juice. I need young juice. Simple as that.
Man, I disagree with my dog, man. I think, Harbaugh is going to give it to you straight up. I don't think he got, he is the corporate coach, is what they like to say, right? Right, Skip? Yeah. Corporate coach. But lately, man, I think he just been spitting straight facts, like in his interviews. Like, he been talking big shit. So saying that Odell is like one of his favorite people, period, I think means a lot. Because coaches don't just be out here talking about players like that, right? Yeah. Odell had a great season last time he was in Baltimore. If he goes anywhere in this league, I think with Harbaugh in New York is the perfect place, right? Last time he was with Harbaugh, what did he average? 16 yards per catch, 565 yards. He can definitely help this team without having to use a draft pick, right? I think they have a couple more holes where you do go young, middle linebacker, right? Maybe tailback. We talked about that, getting another tailback to match Cam and other cat, Tyrone, I think his name is. So I think they could fill other holes with those draft picks, with the receivers they have now. I mean, that's a solid group of receivers. Malik, Slayton, he's pretty reliable for the most part. Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin is that returner, that slot guy that's going to come in and be maybe your 4th receiver. You add Odell to this mix, that's a guy that knows the game, like Cody says, knows defenses, knows how to adjust his routes, has played in New York already. I think he brings a rejuvenation to this team, to this offense. And who got more gas than Odell? I don't really, if you ask me right now, even at 33, there's few players that got gas in hands like Odell Beckham, man. He's one of the best to ever do it. He did it, splash here and splash there. But at his best, man, he was great.
He's not that Odell no more.
Why not? I mean, of course he's not going to be the young Odell, but at 33, man, I think he's better. I think he's going to be better than some of these younger players you're going to take a shot on. At least you know what you're going to get with him, right?
I mean,
he got hurt, came back from injury, had half of 1,000 yards, 16 yards per catch. You put him with a young quarterback.
That's a good way to make it sound good, a half of 1,000.
Yeah, half of 1,000.
What I hear
565.
What I hear is 500.
Without being the main target. That's all you really want from him. The year before that, it was 537.
Look,
all you really want from him is 600, 700 yards.
The year before that, it was 200.
Red zone target.
He missed some games.
Look,
missed games. You're a wide
red zone. But if you even get a young receiver, where you going to put him? How many targets he going to get and how many yards he going to get? These young cats ain't coming in every year, especially if they not the number 1. You already got a main target in Neighbors being the number 1 receiver, where they going to get 800+ receiving yards.
So Odell's your number 2?
He'll be, I'll let him battle it out for Slayton. Why not? You don't think Odell can come in and get with Slayton?
You got young guys in the building who could battle with Slayton already, who, like Hyatt, that's gas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He got real gas.
Yeah.
Like, my dog.
I think Odell right now still going to run 4-4. Still, you come in the room, he got the best hands in the room.
4-4 now.
I doubt it.
Man, look, y'all tripping.
I don't even know if did he run 4-4 coming out?
Let's find out.
Y'all tripping. Odell
always was nice. I don't know if he was the straight gas kind. Was he?
Was he not beneficial to the Ravens?
He could catch a slant and split the defense and take it to the crib.
He ran 4-4-3. Yeah.
Okay. He had breakaway speed for sure.
But AB can do that too, and AB ain't run 4-4. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just right now 4-5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can get to that 4-5 and stay at that motherfucker at 60 yards. You feel me? I can catch a slant and score like that.
Hey, shit, I don't know. Guys are running 4-2s nowadays like it's nothing.
I don't know.
You might get caught.
I feel you, bud. But And, oh, my dog, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he gonna see this. But, bro, 34-year-old receivers are just not scary.
34 is tough.
You know what I'm saying? That's
His
just
age
not
is
scary,
tough.
bro. That's, you know what I'm saying? It comes a point in time where
if any
knees and
position
Achilles
could do it at
be short.
34,
Okay.
it's a receiver.
I mean,
We see
Devontae
Jerry
Adams
Rice-
is still looking
Jerry
nice.
Rice
He's
was
33.
Jerry Rice had 1,000 yards at 42.
But that's Jerry Rice also ran a 5 flat coming out. Like he played that's way back in the day when there was no gas in the league.
200-yard receiving
Like this is a
game,
different
you know
league
what I'm
right now, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I'm with TJ.
I like it, man. I like it. There we
TJ,
go,
I say
Cody.
yes.
Cheers, baby.
I would love to see Odell back with the Giants for a couple reasons. First, the fans love him, right? I think it would bring back a lot of great memories. It would be nostalgic from the early on days when he was in his prime. I also think he can mentor some of those young receivers that you talk about. You have Malik Neighbors, who's going to be their number 1 next year, who's a young guy. After that, I'm with you. I really don't know who's number 2. Now, Darius Slayton is probably the top candidate.
He 28. He a vet.
Yeah, but you had, well, I know, but I'm saying.
Mooney 28. He a vet.
But
you
we're
know what I
talking
said,
about pedigree here,
somewhat
too.
reliable.
Like Odell, the reason I say Odell can be a mentor is mainly because he's on the back end of his career, but also he can teach those guys what it takes to be successful. He can also teach those guys some of the things that maybe he would have done differently throughout his career, and he can also help them understand the expectations that comes along with playing in a media market like New York, the do's and the don'ts and how to handle all that pressure because he's been there and done that before. I think that'd be great for Neighbors. And maybe if they do draft a receiver at number 5, which I think they go Sonny Styles or a defensive guy, but if they do, why not have a guy like Odell in there to help them learn? And then back to that receiver room. Yes, it is crowded right now, and there's 12 guys in that room, but after Neighbors, like I mentioned, who will be number 1, it's wide open. You could argue that he could be a number 2, maybe even a number 3. A number 4 even is okay because they just hired Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator, and he runs that West Coast scheme, which you can expect fast-paced offense, a lot of 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receiver sets, and they're going to rotate guys in and out and run this quick up-tempo offense, and you need guys that can come in and make plays that are maybe 3rd or 4th on the depth chart because of the rotation factor. So I do like it. Now, I don't know how productive he'll be, and I don't know exactly what he looks like because he didn't play last year, but I know he's going to work his ass off. I know that he'll come in on a team-friendly deal, and I know he can come in and compete and potentially get a roster spot and make an impact next year.
Man.
Come on, Skip.
Skip's out.
Come on,
I know, come on.
Skip's been out.
Look, Odell Beckham Jr. was legendary. Emphasis
was.
on past tense was legendary. Those first 3 years in New York, it was all time. Mm-hmm. He's a great showman. He's a great entertainer. He was born to play in New York City for that football team. And I look at these numbers, and they just leap off the page for 3 years. Mm-hmm. 3 Pro Bowls for 3 straight years. Fastest ever to reach 200 catches and 4,000 receiving yards. That's pretty great. Mm-hmm. And then they finally make the playoffs before I get there, I should say, against my Dallas Cowboys, our Cowboys. On that fateful night, what was the date? November 23rd, 2014, Sunday Night Football, Chris Collinsworth calling the game. It's still the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Yep.
And it made him, it put him on the international map in 1 split second because my corner, Brandon Used Cars, I used to call him, he's fouling the hell out of him. It's pass interference, blatant pass interference, and he still goes back over his head and snags it. And Chris Collinsworth immediately called it the best catch he'd ever seen, catch of the year. It's the catch of the world, And it was a flashpoint of he is him. And yet it took 3 years for them to make the playoffs. And then where he lost me, because I think he is a good guy. When Harbaugh says he's a good human, I believe that. But he was also a out-of-control, immature kid for those 3 years. And where he lost me, where I never quite forgave him, was he takes his group of receivers after they had a final regular season game in Washington, and they all go to Miami for an off day ahead of Odell's first ever playoff game on the frozen tundra at Green Bay, and they take the off day on Trey Songz's yacht. You might remember the picture. Bieber is there, and they got their shirts off and
How
their
could you miss
Timbs
that,
on.
though?
Yeah,
Boats and hoes.
exactly.
Boats and hoes.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
that might revitalize the boys.
Yeah, and they're soaking up the rays, and I'm like, no, you can't do that then. And what does Odell do? He later said he regretted it because it distracted him because the media made so much of it. Well, they posted pictures, so it's gonna explode. And first drive on the frozen tundra at Lambeau against Aaron Rodgers and company. Eli looked like he was playoff Eli. He comes out hot, and Odell drops a third down pass right in his hands that could have set it off the right way. And then later he drops a pass on the back line of the end zone that would have been a touchdown that could have gotten them back in the game, which they ended up losing 38-12, I think was the final score. It was a complete rout. Remember, Odell goes in the locker room after the game, takes his helmet, takes a big chunk out of the wall, and it started to fade. He goes to Cleveland. It was just a disaster. He and Baker loved each other. They took vacations together, but they just couldn't get on the same page on the football field, and Odell kept getting hurt. And he's been hurt and hurt and hurt some more because he's had both the left ACL twice. He broke his ankle. He's had multiple shoulder AC joint issues, and then he had one shoulder surgery. Man, he's just beat all to hell. He took a lot of punishment for a long time. And if you look at the numbers, as Aqib pointed out, after those first 3 years, they just keep going down and down and
That's
down.
the bottom line
down.
right there.
Yeah, and you know. Would you want him around to help neighbor, to be kind of the mentor to neighbors? Yeah, I guess that would work, and it'd be a great story to have him back because in New York, he is iconic.
Yeah.
He's that guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So would that be fun to have him around? Yeah, it would until opening day, and then now it's time to go play football. I just don't think he has a whole lot left. I saw him have one blast from his past with Sean McVay through that run to the Super Bowl. He was good. Yeah. But remember, Cooper Kupp had won the Triple Crown, and he's getting like triple coverage, and Odell slips in and starts cooking people. Yeah. And
that's a great offense to
you always say.
Telling you.
Hey.
For me, the bottom line is if I'm a GM and I'm bringing in a 34-year-old receiver, just be done went off last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I look at the numbers in this 300, then 500, then 500, then 55 yards, then you missed a year. Like, bro, what am I doing?
Yeah.
If I bring him in? Like, what am I doing? Am I really GMing or am I fanning?
Fanning, yeah.
Like, well, come on, bro. Like, them numbers don't say we need to get him in the building right here.
I mean, I don't think it's like a have to, but if you get him for a bargain price, a vet minimum, or something around there, which you will get him for, I think that risk of having a productive Odell is better than wasting a future draft pick on what you don't know, right? And maybe a guy that you get in the second or third, you say bring him in, but can end up having the same production, right? Now you got him on the tab for 5 years when you can make this a one-year play, see what happens. Like you said, the room is going to be competitive. You got guys that's trying to get that number 2 spot. Why not give Odell a shot? In New York, it's just a mix of a perfect storm in that situation. Now, maybe another GM, you're not even thinking about it. But right here, right now, hardball, New York, Odell, makes sense to me.
And you're not having them come in to be a number 1. I think that's the most important thing. You might not even be having them come in to be a number 2. I'm having them to come in, maybe compete for that number 3 spot. And with this offense, you're going to get some RPOs. Maybe catch an RPO slant. Maybe get a crosser route with these level concepts. Make a couple impact plays here and there, but also be a mentor in the locker room and out on the field for these young guys. You talked about that trip that they all took and took a picture on the boat. He said that, he learned from that. You don't think those are things that he could teach these younger guys to say, there's going to be temptation. There's going to be you're going to want to go to the clubs. You're going to want to go be a part of the New York nightlife.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Odell going to make them not do it.
Well, I think he can teach them things that maybe.
But you learn through the. But no. To your point,
they going to do what the fuck they going to do.
But if you're a young receiver and you have Odell Beckham Jr. in there saying, I lived through that.
I did that. Don't do that. All right. Oh,
I'm not even. You're not even. Not even just limited to
the. Bro, the roster is for players, bro.
I think they would hold.
I'm not signing guys to be mentors.
Sometimes
I'm signing guys to play ball.
We're talking. I mean, they do it all the time at quarterback. We're about to talk about a guy that
sign them guys to play ball.
He got another. You could not just limited to the wide receiver, but to the quarterback. You got a young Jackson Dart who's been hurt a lot last year. Who's a flashy guy. He loves the culture. He all in the camera.
And
that's somebody who is the biggest, who has been the biggest cultural relevant person in football, especially for the Giants.
And he still can.
Odell Beckham.
He still can. Maybe not as a number one, but also there's a.
My dog ain't coming nowhere to be no mentor, fam. Hey, I'm coming here to get the fucking rock. Simple as that.
I feel like
the rock
at the.
No, at some point.
Hey, Dart, I'm open.
No, at least cut it out.
Hey, Dart, fam. Hey, I'm open, fam.
Whether you know it or not, right? You go. With success, your mentorship is placed on you, whether you even know you're doing it. Like even with Roby, right? You there to do what you do. But Rob was gonna do what you told him to do most of the time, right? And what he saw you doing.
And he was gonna do what I told him don't do. He still was gonna do that shit. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying he'd do less with your presence there. Like, could you imagine if Rob came into a defense with nobody there?
Yeah, it would have been ugly. You know what I'm saying? Rob a wild boy.
All right, the couch is divided and the chat is divided.
Let me say, well, go ahead on the chat. What's the chat say?
Chat is 50-50.
50-50.
If Odell should return just like you guys.
Oh, my dog, I love you,
Just a quick point, because you brought up Jerry Rice. I covered that Raider team with Tim Brown and Jerry Rice at 40.
Yeah, them boys.
One was 40, one almost. And their 1,000 yards. The league was so different. This was all dink and dunk from Rich Gannon, who was the NFL MVP, throwing lots of dinks and lots of dunks. And Jerry Rice was a freak of nature because he came into the league at 4'5" and he left the league at 4'5". He never could run. He never could cook anybody. He just knew how to run routes to get open. It was as efficient as you've ever seen, and he was able to maintain it to 40. And he stayed mostly. He had one knee injury, but mostly he stayed healthy. But there's never been anything like him before. So
with that league, the league is the league, Skip, and it was you dink and dunk. But run that slant if you want to with them safeties coming downhill.
Yeah.
Right? It's still physical, right? They may be a little quicker now, but it ain't as physical.
It's faster, though.
It may be faster.
Very faster.
Oh, it's faster.
Man, this shit
you got to get him,
fast,
man. Them OGs was fast too now.
Man.
I don't know if he ran 4.5 leaving, Skip. He probably more like 4.8.
But we played in the transition, bro. Yeah. I played against the OGs, the Michael Claytons and them dogs. Yeah. I played against them, the Antonio Bryants, my dog Feet. Yeah. Like I played against them, and then I played against them. You feel me?
Did you have more? Can't tell me ain't no receiver young right now got as much gas as a Julio Jones.
Well, Julio he with the new. He the transition of the new guys. Yeah. Julio is.
Who the old?
Who?
But where's
Santonio Holmes?
Yeah.
Gas. I mean, I'm just saying. Fast is
now.
fast.
Now everybody is Santonio Holmes.
Because you can't touch him.
He used to be a Hines Ward, and then it was a Santonio. Like he's slow as hell, and they say fast guy. Not everybody on the roster is the fast guy. Everybody is. Like, bro.
Even the big guys are fast.
The
now.
big guys run 4.3s now, bro. Yeah. Like, come on, man. This shit is totally different.
Many fast guys out there.
All right. Actually, I was not expecting that conversation to go the way that it did. I thought everybody's going to be out on that. So, getting your guys' response. Wow, there's some hope for OBJ and the Giants. But let's move on. Let's talk about, we talked on Monday. Obviously, Kirk Cousins got his bag. He's going to be going to the Raiders. But my question now is, obviously, we're assuming that they're going to be drafting Fernando Mendoza. Who is going to start in Vegas? So they actually asked Kirk Cousins this on Good Morning Football. So I want to play that.
I don't want to start unless I'm the best option. So, and I told, Clint that best players should play. But certainly, as long as that's the case, I have no qualms with however it plays out. But I do think Fernando is going to be a great addition to our team. I think he's going to have a great future in the league. I have no problem, being a voice in the room to kind of help him to the degree that I can. He's going to have great support all around him from the coaching staff, but to the degree that, being able to watch a veteran quarterback, go through his habits and routines and process, I think, that can be a great asset for him. And he was here yesterday on his draft day visit. We were able to watch film together. So, I think he'll be a great addition to the room. And I was even telling him how much success he had throwing back shoulders at IU, that I'd like to learn a little bit from him on how to throw a good back shoulder. So it'll be a noisy quarterback room. We'll all be helping each other, and we'll all be pulling in the same direction.
So, Skip, I'm going to go with you first. Are you okay with him saying all this? How do you feel?
I'm going to see this probably different than the way you guys see this. But Kirk Cousins, to me, is a shrewd operator and always has been. He always operates with chip on shoulder pads because he came into the league as a fourth-round pick, and he eventually beat out RG3 in Washington after RG3 got hurt. And he went to Minnesota when everybody laughed at Minnesota for giving him $84 million guaranteed dollars, and he made 3 straight Pro Bowls. Then he went to Atlanta, and after they jerked the rug out from under him with Pence in the first round, last year when he got a shot again after Pence got hurt, Penix, that he beat him out. He played better than Penix played last year. And what he's saying now to me is not what the Raiders want to hear, because he's saying basically the best quarterback, I want a competition. The best quarterback should be able to play. And if it's me, the team will say, oh, we want him to play. And if it's Mendoza, then he should go ahead and play. But to me, it was a classic humble brag on Kirk's part, because he knows right now he's probably better than Mendoza is. And what he's saying is that he doesn't want to be a bridge quarterback. I think he resents that, because he made it clear when he did sign, regrettably on his part with the Raiders, he wanted to be a starter. And he couldn't believe that nobody signed him to be a starting quarterback. So he's making $20 million, and the way the Raiders view it, the way Tom Brady views it, is we just need a bridge. We need somebody to get us through, if you want to call it being a sacrificial lamb. We need a sacrificial lamb until our team gets good enough around Fernando Mendoza to support him. And in this case, Cousins is saying, no, I want to compete. And he did insist on 2 more years on his deal. It's their option, but it's $40 million and $40 million. And if I know Kirk Cousins, he's thinking right now, hey, I'm going to try to win this job and keep this job. And once upon a time, Aaron Rodgers had to sit for 3 years, right, and watch Brett Favre. And I think Kirk Cousins is saying, hey, I'm ready. Let's go. I'll show you just on savvy, experience, and knowing how to play that position. I think I'm going to be better than him now, and I think I'll be better than him next year. So he's saying, I want a competition, and he said it's not fair to the team for the wrong quarterback to be playing. Like if they see that Fernando Mendoza is better than me in training camp, he should start game 1 no matter what. And Kirk is saying between the lines, humble brag, that also means if I'm better than him going forward into next year, then I should be the starting quarterback. He's an overachieving battler. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. And that's how he loves the competition. And I think he would get a great kick out of showing the Raiders, even going to next year, he's better than Fernando Mendoza. That's what I heard.
Well, have you ever met an elite athlete that doesn't view that about themselves?
No, but
right? They kind of have to.
He's different because no one ever believes in him. Yeah. No, and I still don't. He feeds off of that too. He feeds. No, he just does. But he's not the classic bridge.
There's nothing else to say than what he did say. Like I'm with you, Kinsey. Like, what if he would have got on there and said, "No, I'm the backup. I'm here to mentor Fernando." And like, man, nigga we'd have been talking about that. Like, Kirk cool would be in the backup. Like,
Yeah.
Who does that? Like, what pro actually wants to be the backup?
Yeah.
Like, it's no pro in no sport.
No, but the Raiders would want him to say, I'm here to hold it down until Fernando is ready, and that's
But
not
that
what
wasn't
he
in
said.
his contract. That ain't what he signed
He's
to
not gonna
say.
say that, though.
Like,
Yeah.
that ain't that. That's
but
not
that's-
what his contract. I don't care what the Raiders want him to say. He is a man. That is Kurt. This is his life. If y'all signed him, I'm here to compete. And shit, I think the competition is healthy. Fernando Mendoza shouldn't be handed the key. Like, you did nothing in the NFL to say that you're the starter.
No.
So it should be a competition. That's why we signed you. It probably will be a competition. That's why we signed you, so we can have somebody to push him to make sure he on this shit. And if he's not ready to go, Kurt will play. If it's even, then we gonna go with the young bull who we drafted.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's healthy, bro. That's healthy for football. Shouldn't nobody be handed the keys. I can remember every year I played football as a young bull, Roby. If I'm looking trash and Roby looking cold, Roby ass gonna play. Give a fuck what we paid you. Like, it's just the nature of the game, and it's the nature of the pro athlete. Bro, I'm here to play. I never met a backup. It's little 7th round, little Doss. Doss was an undrafted free agent. Did he not feel like, bro, I could start over Roll, bro. I could be the third corner. Did he not feel like that?
Yeah.
Bro, feel like he can play right now. That's just the mindset that you better have if you're going to be a pro.
Okay, but the Raiders better have the mindset that they're picking a kid #1 overall who better be ready to play about midway through this coming football
And I think,
season, right?
Midway. So
fuck
you think
midway.
Kirk is
Fernando Mendoza done had that playbook for a few months. He going to come in ready to play right now.
Yeah.
And he going to accept that challenge. He going to see Kurt. All right, the best man
Yeah,
going to
he can say,
win.
I'm coming out week
with that
one.
big ass
They got
smile
the
on his
same
face.
per-
All
they
right,
got the
bet.
same personality,
Let's do it. Let's
right?
do it, Kurt. Let's go.
They do. That's
That's
a
going
good
to bring
point.
out
They
the
do.
best in Fernando.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That little comment right there that make Fernando go to the lab and get on that iPad. You know what I'm saying? So we going to see, but I guarantee you Fernando going to come. He going to beat his ass out because we seen the best Kurt in the league already. It's a playoff game every 3rd year. We already know what you is, Kurt. And we'll see. I think Fernando going to accept that challenge, and he going to come beat his ass out.
Do you?
Hell yeah.
Well, the Raiders better hope you're right.
And you see him starting week 1? Or you?
I see Fernando Mendoza starting week 1.
Well,
See, I like what Kirk said, and I don't think he was saying it to take a shot at Fernando. I think he was just being honest. Look, we're going to compete. I'm the veteran. He's a rookie. Whoever's going to give the team the best chance to win, that's who's going to play. And I'm sure Clint Kubiak would say the same exact thing. But I love this move by the Raiders to bring in Kirk Cousins to help Fernando Mendoza, to help him because he's going to become a mentor for him, whether he's a starter or not. And it gives them options with obviously who I assume will be their first overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. If Mendoza comes in and he balls out in OTAs and he looks great in fall camp and then he plays well in the preseason and he's ready to go and he starts from week 1, great. Now you have one of the best backups and mentors in the NFL and Kirk Cousins supporting him and helping him. If Mendoza's not ready, well, now he has time to sit and learn and develop while you still can be competitive with Kirk Cousins. I know he didn't play great last year, but he was 4-0 in his last 4 starts.
Was. No,
he had
he-
7 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions during that time. So they still could go out
that's
there
what I said.
and
He-
be competitive.
He played better than
until-
Penix played.
He
Yeah,
played
did.
very well at the end of the year. But the beauty of it is, Skip, is I don't think there will be quarterback controversy in the future if Cousins does play well because he's 37 years old. He's going into year 15. He's not in the prime of his career. They're not going to offer him a long-term contract extension. He will be there to play for a couple years until Mendoza's ready. And when that time comes, he can take over
For a couple
being
years?
the starter.
That would be a story.
But that's fine. I don't think that's the problem right now in the NFL. There's no rush to play Fernando Mendoza. Give him time to develop. If he's ready, sure, throw him in there. But if not, we have a great leader in Kirk Cousins, who's a veteran, who isn't the long-term answer. So then if Mendoza needs a year or 2 or even 3, we'll put him in there when he's ready. Continue to build this roster with Kubiak and John Spytek to make sure that he's going into the best situation possible instead of throwing him in right away and maybe ruining his confidence.
Okay, what if the Raiders, which we both like the moves they've made, right? I think I've already called them 9-8. But I'm accepting that Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback and that they're going to be pretty good right away because he's pretty good. Yeah, but he's always pretty good.
Disagree on that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Kurt. If Kurt the starter, I don't know if they're going to be 9-8.
Really?
I think it's going to be Kurt. And I say this just because Tom Brady's there. Tom Brady was backing up Bledsoe. You've seen the blueprint with Aaron Rodgers, what he became after backing up Favre, right? At first, when I seen the signing, I'm like, this is done. It don't make no sense. But as I got to harp on it a little bit more, I'm like, this makes a lot of sense, right? Kirk has been here, whether it was taking over for RG3, right, and taking the Redskins to the playoffs, going to Minnesota, taking them to the playoffs, getting, you know, as Skip said, the rug pulled up from under him and came back and beat out their first-round pick, Penix, right? He used to this. Kirk got an attitude. You like that attitude. Remember, you like that? And that's what Kirk's thinking, right? You're going to bring Mendoza in here, and I'm going to beat him out again. This won't be the first time I beat out a first-round quarterback. Nope. And until he proves that he's better than me, I'm the man. And you can't tell me that Kirk doesn't think that he's the man for this year, for next year. He may have to sit on the bench for 3 years like A-Rod did, if you ask Kirk right now. Because
of course, but I tell you what Kirk don't like. That mentor tag.
Why
Same
though?
shit that Odell wouldn't like.
See,
because that ain't how motherfuckers think, bro. I ain't coming here to be no mentor. I'm coming in to play.
No, of course.
Yeah, but you
regardless what y'all signed.
But why not? But why? Two things can be true at the same time. I can be coming in here to win games and be the starter, but I also can help this young bull in the meeting rooms and in some of the, you know. And the other thing too, he played for Kubiak before when they were in Minnesota. He was a quarterback coach for 2 years. Then he was his OC in 2021. What better person to learn from? Because it's one thing as a young quarterback to see it at practice, to watch it on film, but to talk to another guy that's been in that position and has played for this coach and been in this offense firsthand helps you elevate your game even more. So I think
that might come later on. Once whoever's the starter is the starter. When they get there in April and they competing, ain't gonna be too much help going on there. It's
gonna be a competition. Now the mentor role, I mean, it don't always happen right away. You know, it don't always happen right away, but you know, there's certain things that a young guy is gonna pick up. And if I got a number 1 overall pick and my O-line ain't right and my receivers ain't right, I'm not in no rush to put him out there and put him in danger, in harm's way.
Right.
We'll put this
when
1
are you
year
gonna
deal.
play him? When are you gonna win this?
Why not wait a year?
When he's
Why
ready.
not wait a year?
Bro.
No,
Peyton
when he's ready.
Peyton didn't have a great rookie year.
Shit, we go down the list.
But Peyton's rookie year was injury.
We go down the list. These number 1 picks, y'all coming in to play. That's what the number 1 overall pick coming in to do.
That's the new way. No, that's been a lot of why these quarterbacks been having these early downfalls.
Was Jordan Love the number 1 overall pick?
He was in the 20s.
No. All right, well, you in the 20s. You ain't coming in. If y'all pick your ass number 1 overall, you're coming in to play.
Yeah.
So then why go sign Kirk Cousins then if you think that you're gonna have him
especially for that ticket.
You sign him to be a mentor.
The ticket is light.
To have a backup plan in case he's
Atlanta paying a ticket. I'm signing him for you a bona fide high paid backup, $13 million. That's what I'm paying for, because I can have a great backup. If this motherfucker come in and be straight trash, with this team, I think we could win. I got a great backup.
Right.
So what we
they don't thinking like that right now. We gonna come in and win with our backup. We the Oakland Raiders. We just went with ass last year. So ain't no way we going nowhere with our backup quarterback. We might as well start him now. Let Mendoza get right, get comfortable, get his timing down.
He ain't gonna come be right.
And I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying.
But they have options now if he's not. They don't have to rush him because you have Kirk Cousins.
Well, we're saying the same thing, Dan. I'm saying the same thing. I'm signing Kirk for the $13 million just in case. But as of day 1, OTAs roll around, young bull.
Who out there?
You out there. Young bull, you go. Let me see it.
Good, and give him every opportunity.
Yep.
That's why I said if he plays well in OTAs, if he looks good in fall camp, if he's developing and plays good in the preseason, send him out there and then you have a great backup and Kirk Cousins behind him. If not, put Kirk out there who can still help you win games and let Mendoza develop. They have the best of both worlds.
But my question would be, why would we sign Kirk Cousins to an escalating contract where as the more time goes on, it's more writing on the wall that he's going to be a bench player?
Yeah, because you got 40 and 40
Exactly.
million.
Those are options, though. That's the thing.
Team option.
Let's see first year, which is
Yeah.
a team-friendly deal first year, and you're also taking some money still from Atlanta. Let's see what he does first year, see where Mendoza's at, then we can address that going forward.
Man, this shit a 1-year deal, man.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, typically.
Essentially.
But he get what, 20 in the first?
That shit
20?
says $172 million. He ain't touching that. Like,
No, it's essentially a 1-year deal to see what – it's just, hey, give us some time to see where Mendoza's at. Let's see what Kirk Cousins does in year 1, then we can rehash everything.
No, I no doubt think I love Mendoza as a quarterback. Definitely think he has the capability to come in and start. What I'm saying is, if my fortress is not right around him, I'm not putting the king in there.
Right?
Yeah. Well, 65% of the chat has Kirk starting in week 1. Yeah. So lean in towards that side. Let's move on. Let's talk about another quarterback because, we've all been very excited. Lamar Jackson is obviously showing up during the offseason program, and his teammates can sense that he is locked in. And this is actually what Zay Flowers had to say. He said, He's always ready. He's more ready this year. He's excited about the coaching staff. He's excited about getting to work with new offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. So, yeah, he's ready to go. He wants to finish, and he wants to get a ring. So, Lamar Jackson, you know, he's 3-5 in his playoff record. So, could this season change all that? I don't know. Cody, how much pressure is Lamar Jackson under right now?
Yeah, look, there's pressure on every quarterback in this league. It's the NFL. You play one of, if not the most important position in all of pro sports. There are a lot of people inside an organization that are depending on you. But there are certain quarterbacks in the NFL that have more pressure than others, and I think Lamar Jackson falls into that category. But that's because of how talented Lamar Jackson is and how special he is as a player. Lamar Jackson is the type of quarterback that can go in and take over a football game by himself. He can erase some of the deficiencies that you may have on your roster because of his abilities. So there are going to be higher expectations for Lamar Jackson to do more. And when you have higher expectations, that leads to more pressure. But pressure is a privilege, and Lamar Jackson falls into that category because of how good he is. He's a damn good football player. But with that being said, it's not just Lamar that has pressure. I think the Baltimore Ravens as a team have a lot of pressure this year. The defense has to be significantly better. 24th in total defense last year, 18th in scoring defense. I know they had some injuries, but that's not good enough. Jesse Minter, who's a first-time head coach, has a ton of pressure on his shoulders this year. He's replacing John Harbaugh, who was there for 18 previous seasons. Now, he won a Super Bowl, but he hadn't been back in 13 years. That's a lot of pressure on Jesse Minter to get them over the hump as a first-time head coach. Declan Doyle, another guy that we've talked about a lot. First-time play caller, only 29 years old. There's a lot of pressure on him to elevate this offense and continue to get the most out of Lamar. And then the offensive line has a lot of pressure as well. They've got to continue to develop and get better and better as this year goes on, especially with losing Tyler Linderbaum. So it's going to be tough because they lost that key piece in the middle of their offense. Yeah, they've got to get better at a lot of different places. But yeah, the reason that Lamar Jackson has pressure on his shoulders is because of how good he is, and they expect a lot out of him. And that's only true for a couple quarterbacks in the NFL, and Lamar falls into that category. But yeah, everyone has pressure, but the Ravens have high expectations, so theirs is amplified a little bit more.
I think pressure is just part of the NFL.
Yeah,
pressure makes diamonds.
It's not just Lamar. Lamar got pressure because he got Super Bowl expectations. Yeah, and he ain't been to the Super Bowl yet. Well, shit, Josh Allen got Super Bowl expectations. He ain't been to the Super Bowl yet. It's pressure on them. Patrick Mahomes, the show Skip, he ain't fell off yet. You know what I'm saying? It's pressure on Joe Burrow to stay healthy for a fucking season. You know what I'm saying? It's pressure on a different position, McDuffie, to show the Rams that he is the guy who they paid.
Yeah.
Like pressure, it's pressure on everybody. It don't stop.
Agreed.
It's a group of 2,000 guys who you will be fucking amazed the amount of pressure that every last one of them motherfuckers is on in their own way. Like shit, I had pressure to make it to the league. Then once I made it to the league, it was like shit. Now I got pressure. I got to start, and every year it was like, all right, here we go. It was you wouldn't have. And then when I started, it was like, all right, now shit, I got to get paid now. Now I got to be one of the cold guys to get paid. And then once you get paid, you think it's over with? Fuck no, it's just beginning now. The pressure is on now. Now I can't be a bust. I go to practice and you can see all the small change corners looking at you. Look, let's see how his rep going. Let's look at him. Everybody watching you and shit. It's the more money you get, the better you get in the league. The more you're under that magnifying glass, the more the pressure rises.
Great point.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't stop. If you think Fernando Mendoza is gonna be the #1 pick, and he like, woof, the pressure is off now. I'm done. Like that shit don't happen, bro. That shit don't happen. The pressure is just now getting started. And if he balled for 3-4 years and then they pay him and now he's making $60 million a year, guess what? Whoop, the pressure is just now getting started again. So, hey, it is what it is. We know it's pressure on Lamar. It's pressure on Sean Payton because he just switched his old coordinator. I'm not calling plays no more. I fired my old coordinator who I got to the AFC Championship game with, and now I got a new play caller. It's pressure on him for that decision to be right. Because if that's wrong, guess who's going to be all on his ass? The whole Denver market going to tear his ass up. You know what I'm saying? So in your own right, it's pressure on fucking everybody, man. So that's just part of our game.
It felt like that wasn't Sean's idea, though. Like it came from above, right?
On, Skip, you got to trust me.
From the roof,
Skip.
right?
When I tell you something about Denver, Skip, you just got to trust me, man.
Okay.
I got Mike Kliss on speed dial.
All right.
That's my guy. we are the insiders. You know what I'm saying? Me and Mike.
I understand. When it comes to the Broncos, you are the ultimate insider.
Come on, man. Come on.
But from
Trust me.
After we were on the show and he said Jalen Waddle, and then a couple days later, I think it was the next morning, Jalen Waddle going to Denver.
Hey, you got to trust me, man.
Anything he says, I'm writing it down.
Trust
I know, but Sean Payton lives to call plays. It's all he's ever done. It's
Not no more.
I know, but it's just impossible to think, I'm going to hand it to this kid who's never called a play in his life. I'll let him, the whole responsibility of our football team, I'll put it in his hands now. That's not the Sean Payton I know.
I'll give him a little bit, they holding it together. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like he ain't put it all in his hands. It's like, I'm holding this piece, you hold this piece. It's like both of ours. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna call
grab
it,
too much.
But I'm be right here with you though. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, he's gun douche. Hey, don't call that shit. Make him change it.
What you thinking right here?
Yeah.
Thinking gun douche. Oh yeah, that's cool. You feel me? You feel me, Skip? You know what I'm saying? He ain't just give it to him.
He'll override.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna help him out a little bit. He gonna,
But ultimately,
care
the
about
clock is
all those
ticking.
headsets are connected, Skip. He's going to be in his
but ultimately somebody, the buck has to stop on somebody's desk. And it sounds like in the end, it's going to be the new play caller who will have final say.
But you know how he does that is he continues to earn Peyton's trust through the offseason, through preseason, through those scrimmages, through week 1, week 2. Then Sean Payton can start taking more of a back seat and say, all right, this is why I hired you. I have full trust in you. Here are the reins. Here's the keys of the offense. I'll take more of a back seat.
But it just sounded to me like Sean and Bo got a little sideways over ankle injury issues. And well, it did. It did. I don't know.
It wasn't really sideways. They like Webb.
Yeah.
They really like him, man. He's one of them young geniuses. You know what I'm saying? He in your building. He got an opportunity to leave your building. You like, shit, I don't want him to leave this building. I got to keep him here. How can we keep him here? That's the only way to keep him here.
He give you that quarterback perspective straight from the source.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like with Lamar and the Ravens, Lee hit a great point. We all under pressure, right? As pros, it's a new batch of 300 guys coming in every year. Like,
I'm telling
it's pressure to keep that job. Once you take it, you got to stay on top until And they say you are no longer allowed to play in this league, and that's pretty much how they do it. But for the Ravens, man, I think it's more pressure on that head coach and Declan Doyle, right? Mentor and Declan Doyle. Lamar has done so much for this team, this organization, regardless of who was surrounded around him. Now, the expectation of him winning a Super Bowl, that goes to how great he has been as a player individually and what he's done with the player around him. But, Zay Flowers, I think he's ready to win a Super Bowl. If you ain't fumble going into the end zone, he might be in the Super Bowl. So you just make sure you handle what you got to handle to make sure Lamar gets to the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
If Andrews don't drop that 2-point conversion, they get to the AFC Championship game, and they may have been to the Super Bowl after that. Yeah. So I think the players around him got more pressure than Lamar actually has to finish the job, right? Mm-hmm. Lamar has made it capable and possible for you guys to be in the playoffs almost every year. Could have been a 3-time MVP, 2-time MVP, blew the doors off of Josh Allen numbers when he lost to Josh Allen in the MVP race that year. So Lamar has put this team year in and year out in championship contention. But the guys around him have not held up to their end of the bargain. And that's point blank, period. Now you got a new head coach, defensive guy, mentor. You got a first-time young-ass offensive coordinator in Declan Doyle. Y'all better live up to that job y'all just got and make sure you're doing the things to put Lamar over the hump. Because being right around the middle of the pack, first-round playoff, that's not finna get it done. We've seen that a million times with Lamar. What are you guys brought in here to do to get this team over the hump? That's point blank, period. Lamar is Lamar. His greatness has been put on display year in and year out. And you can actually say, in clutch situation, he always makes the plays. But his teammates have not. Even if you look at the game to get to the playoffs last year against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Isaiah Likely makes a hell of a play. Before that, Lamar Jackson gets out of tremendous trouble. The kicker comes in and misses the damn kick.
Well, don't forget that dime he threw to Zay Flowers for a touchdown earlier in the quarter.
Come on, man. It's like, what are we talking about? They always like to point the finger at Lamar because of his greatness. But let's look at quarterback. He is the quarterback, but you can't catch, you can't throw and catch.
No, I agree.
Once you put the ball in the receiver hands, you can't make them hold on to the ball going into the end zone. This is the AFC
You
Championship
could put it
game.
on his chest.
We lost by 7 points. You fumbled the ball going into the end zone for 7 points. This is a divisional game. 2-point play to go into overtime. My supposed most dependable tight end dropped
You
the
talking
ball.
about 2 seasons. Lamar's going to season 10. What about for them other 7 seasons? Lamar ain't did nothing?
But look, you can't. Well, the 2 seasons is when they got. I'm talking about when they got to the closest.
All right, well,
and what were the
about
big
the
plays?
times they didn't get to the closest?
What you mean? He went to the Pro Bowl his rookie year. He won 2
I ain't talking about no Pro Bowl. We talking about chips.
What's
All I'm saying is Lamar has.
I think the pressure don't bother Lamar.
He got faults in them not winning Super Bowls as well. It ain't just been it's your fault. It's his fault.
But when the game's on the line,
game's on the line, bro.
Does he not make the play?
Not all the time. Hell no.
Yeah, what I seen, he make the play.
You talking about 2
but
Andrews
was the 2
and Zay
closest
Flowers.
opportunities when it was obvious.
It's been way more times than that,
outside
but
of
when
that,
they lost first round division.
Last year, I put 3 plays. Last year, he put him in position to get to the playoffs.
Okay.
Right?
Well, who put him in position? Who put him in position to have to win this game just in order to get to the playoffs? That don't matter neither.
He did get him in position to get to the game and go to the playoffs.
I mean, bro, they won
talking about
8
all
games,
year?
bro.
He was hit. He was hurt most of the year.
All right, well, who fought is that? If you hurt, who fought is that, bub?
It's football. Players get hurt. But did he not have him in position to make the playoffs?
We could go to the Chiefs games when the Chiefs pulled up on him in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Lamar had his
that
perfect
was-
game.
that was one year.
It's multiple years where Lamar was at fault as well. He's at fault as well. So just like Andrews was at fault this year, Zay Flowers was at fault this year. Lamar's name is gonna come up in them years at all.
I disagree. I don't know what year you're talking about.
I do.
You do?
Oh, Skip's got it written down.
Go ahead, Skip.
Go ahead.
I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a big Lamar supporter and was from day one when Ozzie stole him at the bottom of the first round. And yet, the 2 games that leap off the resume that Aqib is referring to,
Tell him, Skip.
you just can't ignore, because the first year he won the MVP was 2019. So he wins the MVP. They go 14-2. They're the 1 seed, and they got a divisional game after a bye week at home against Tennessee. They are 10-point favorites. 10-point favorites. And in that game, Lamar he threw for 365 and ran for 143, and he mostly stunk because he turned the ball over 3 times and he missed a lot of plays that you have to make against a 10-point underdog. And they lost 28-12 at home, and it was pretty ugly. And that sits on your resume. It's like a red light on your resume, like flashing. Okay, you didn't do that. And then you brought up, this is the AFC Championship game at home. You're the 1 seed again against Kansas City, and you're a 5-point favorite at home. You have to play better than he did. Now, Zay Flowers gets stripped at the goal line. It was a big play. I don't know if it's exactly going to win the game, but it would have put him in position to maybe close that deal. But the first half, Lamar came out, I don't know what he was doing. He was just cold. He just had a bad first half, and they fall behind 14-0, and they can't come back, and they lose 17-10. And he's 20 of 37, so he
That's
wasn't.
When they came out trying to air it out.
Yeah, he was trying to be Patrick. He was trying to out Patrick in the game, and he didn't run the way he should have run. And it's a home AFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl. So to your point about pressure, I hear you. Everybody's got pressure. It's how much pressure does Lamar feel? I can't know that because I can't walk in his shoes. But right now he's got to be feeling a little different about, okay, it's time to go now. It's time, because I'm year 10, 10 years in. I got to do something. And you stood and gave him a standing ovation for showing up for the first day of OTAs. Now, I haven't kept score. If they've had other days, I assume he's still there.
Oh, he's there for sure.
Yeah. And yet, I can guarantee you this, the expectation on him from the outside in, from the football world looking in, it's high on Lamar because he's a 2-time MVP, and that next year after the 2023, 2024, he could easily been the MVP over Josh that year. So he could be a 3-time MVP, and he's 3-5 in the post. And there are legit excuses for 3-5, but there are a couple of games where they're glaring. And just look, I'm a fan of his. I got one source in Baltimore who's really good, and they felt like that year that they wouldn't pay him when he had earned his money. He sort of quit on them in the middle of the year. I'm going back a couple of years. Then they finally did pay him, and he came back happy. And then last year, he just, my source tells me he did not love John Harbaugh. Maybe they just been together for too long. He did not love Todd Monken. And maybe they just been together too long. And it got a little dicey and ugly and sticky and tricky. And so now it's like, okay, they're gone. And now you got young guys. And your coordinator is barely, like he's, a couple of months older than Lamar?
29, yeah. I think he's still 29.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just barely older than Lamar is.
They're around the same age. Yep.
Yeah, and he's never called a play, and he didn't play college football. He played college baseball for a little while. Okay, so am I watching Lamar eagerly? Are my eyes on? Yeah, I want to see, because do I think he's capable of winning Super Bowls, plural? I do. Yeah. I absolutely do. Mm-hmm. And yet, it's got to all fall into place, and he's got to be a leader, and he's got to be there for his team, and he's off to a great start, but boy, it's early, man. It's like we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And I like the moves they've made. I like Trey Hendrickson. I wish he were still a Bengal for Burrow's play.
No.
Yeah, but whatever. You like their moves. You like where they are. Okay, so do I. Let's go. Let's see it. Because you're that good, and as that age 30 starts to creep up on you, let's see you.
And ain't nothing wrong with having pressure on you.
No.
Pressure. It got him to OTAs.
That's what I'm saying. That's what got him to OTAs. That's why he pulled up. He's starting to feel that pressure. So, I mean, I don't think nothing wrong with it, man. It is what it is. Everybody feel it.
I think to TJ's point, when you guys were talking, Skip, you mentioned some of the struggles he had in the playoffs. But if Zay Flowers does catch that ball, and if Mark Andrews doesn't drop that ball, then are we as critical of those bad performances because he's got a ring now, and we don't know what would happen.
We don't know what. I know. They win the game if he don't
True,
that.
But that was TJ's point, as to where there have been guys around him that have let him down. Last year, you talked about why are they in that position in the first place. Yeah, he had some injuries, but they also had a defense that was 24th in total defense. Zach Orr, their defensive coordinator, was
pressure
struggling
on all
to
them
get
motherfuckers too.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's fucking undrafted rookie free agents who feeling more pressure than Lamar. Yeah. Because they like you said, it's 300 pit bulls trying to get in this league, and I'm the last one hanging on. Shit, I got to get my shit up, or I'm going to be out this league. Like, bro, it's part of the game, bro. Yeah. Cody, you have been a backup quarterback. Man, you know this shit don't stop. Yeah. It don't matter if you the starter. It don't matter if you the backup, bro. That's something that you better be able to handle. You better be able to perform when that pressure is on. And if you play in the National Football League, because it's built on it. Yeah. It's built on pressure.
I was a starter my rookie year, backup my second year, starter my third year, backup again, like bouncer. It's the same. I agree.
It's the same, bro.
Because it's still the NFL.
Like you said,
especially
do you
a quarterback, there's
who
all eyes
you are without pressure. That's what makes what
but
you
it's
do
not
so
pressure,
great.
it's expectation. Is it not high?
Yes, but the high, well, that was my point, though. Lamar, with how talented he is and how good of a player he is, the expectations are higher, which increases the pressure as well. So there are levels to the pressure,
same with Josh Allen, same with Joe Burrow. Yeah,
yes, exactly.
I think maybe outside in is pressure, but inside out it's another day.
It's another day. It's all the same. I think if you look at the media, who they gonna point the blame to, then it might be higher for Lamar and Josh Allen than it is for the undrafted free agent guys. But the pressure that the single guy is feeling, bro, Lamar and that 53rd man on that roster, if it was a pressure meter, they shit the same.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
All right, let's move on to a little bit of drama, because the world kind of everybody's talking about it right now, so we're going to dive into this story. So Dianna Russini, she's a big NFL reporter, and Mike Vrabel, the head coach of the Patriots, we're seen in Arizona. We're seen in Arizona. They were holding hands. They were laying by the pool. She's in a bikini. They're hanging out. There's these paparazzi photos, okay? So a lot of speculation right now. They're both married, individually married to different people. So they come on later and that they say, we're with a group. There's nothing to see here. I can only speak from my personal experience on this one, you guys, but we're all a close staff, right? I love you boys. you're not going to catch me dead in a bikini at a resort with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, that is just not going to be a good look for me as a female working in sports. Yeah. It does get taken the wrong way. So here's my question.
Even though they did say they were in a group and you can't see it because of the photos or
they photoshopped it.
Well,
but still, I see them. What I see is two of them laying next to each other. It's like me and Cody at the pool in my bikini. It's not a good look.
And they had the finger
hand interlock.
I'm not holding any of your hands anytime soon.
Got it.
So that's just my personal opinion. I think it's a tough look to defend. The whole world's talking about it. So, Talib, is it okay for a top reporter to have this close of a relationship with someone in the NFL?
Man, I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think it's fine, man. Look, as a journalist, you have to have great relationships with some players, with some coaches, with some GMs. It's how else am I going to get the good inside information that I need to get to be a great journalist? You know what I'm saying? You gotta build these great relationships. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about just the having a great relationship part. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they was doing at the pool, I don't know about all that. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? If she got a great relationship with Vrabel and he give her great information about the Patriots, that's great for the Athletic. That's great for her job. She gonna be the one breaking stories and breaking new news and shit like that. So I played for Denver. I had a great relationship with Josina Anderson, did we not? She went out her way to have great relationship with the guys.
Yep.
I mean, we went at the pool and shit, you feel me? But she went out her way to have great relationship with the guys, and then she'd text every once in a while, whoop, leave. You following Steve? You feel me? I felt comfortable enough with Josina that I'd tell her. Yeah, so boop, now she could, Leave gonna be following, can I say it? Yeah, you can say, nah, don't say nothing. But you can say, wait till game time, and then you can put it out there. Like, I felt comfortable enough with her to tell her some information, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's okay, it's part of the job. Have you a great relationship with the guy, with the girl? I'm sure she's not the only journalist who got a great relationship with a player or a coach or a GM, you know what I'm saying? It's probably all of them probably do, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you get your information, man. So, hey, she won't be the last. If she's not the first, I think it's fine.
You know what? This thing that we are in is all about relationships, right? Like we said, it's about how you maintain and capture these relationships. On the male, you got frat brothers, you got guys that go to the same schools and, went to the same high school from this. This is how they got their relationships and become stronger bonds, right? I like philosophy, right? This is philosopher. She said, you have to use what you have to get what you want.
All right, TJ.
That sounds like a Players Club. Is that for Players Club?
Ronnie the philosopher. Oh you have to use what you have to get what you want. And, I don't know the relationship between their marital spouses on either side, but that's what Russini is doing, right? I don't know in what way, but she's using what she has to get what she wants. And that relationship between her and Vrabel, now from the outside looking in, if she was my wife, hey, look, that's a little bit too close for me for your journalistic duties. But we don't know specifically what was going on. You poolside, right? What else are we supposed to be in? I'm in trunks. I'm sitting next to Cody. He gonna be in trunks. She supposed to be in like sweats. She gonna be in her bikini. Now the interlocking fingers, y'all great friends on that end. But as a journalist, there are tactics of getting the inside scoop. And she won't be the first to go a little further than most people will go to get the scoop. Man, woman, or child. So do I have a problem with it journalistically? No. But, outside of that, probably, most likely, yeah. But, for the journalistic aspect and you trying to get these stories, you trying to get the scoop, you got to do what you got to do, man.
I don't know, but some people don't think it's getting the scoop, that they're fully just cheating.
But we don't know that. It's just a picture. We ain't got no video of what they was
But
talking about. Or
is that whatever people think they were doing, is that out of pure, recreation, or is it to fulfill her duty as a journalist?
But there is some level. I mean, I've worked in sports for a long time. Obviously, I'm a woman. There's this level of things that I just can't do
absolutely.
with my counterparts because it's taken the wrong way. Everybody has
Everyone has morals
your way
and
to
standards,
the top,
right?
You're using this, using that. As a woman, I have to operate differently. I'm not going to go to dinner with you privately.
But is it ever times where somebody could take a quick picture of you and whoever and say, look at Kinsey flirting with this guy because you laughing, you got a drink,
Yeah, maybe laughing.
We could be at pickleball court, and if they just crop out, everybody find a scene where Kinsey and Lee right there, look at Kinsey, and they can do that, bro. It's a picture. I could post a picture and say it's this, and then you're gonna think whatever you want to think about that picture. You know what I'm saying? So it just so happens that they was at the pool in the clothes that they had on.
Yeah.
You gonna put that tag on it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean the little fingers, that could have been like, hey, they could have high-fived and came like this and didn't even hug. They could have said, hey, how you doing? And whoop, they took that picture and it looked terribly bad. You can say, baby, I didn't even hug the girl. I fucking high-fived her, came like this, and that's the picture that they got. So, I mean, come on, man. It's the picture can be misleading.
But that's also the point, though. As a woman, that's why you have to be extra careful.
But you wouldn't even know.
Everything we do, they're going to be like, she slept her way to the top. She's hooking up with him.
But you wouldn't even know, Kinsey, if you went and said, what's up? Bop, high-five them and whoop, did like that, and then whoop. Hey, we all going to the pool. We on the whoop. All right, bet. Shit, I'm whoop, get him my whoop. He right here, and they just whoop, just take y'all picture. Bro, you won't even know that I'm doing that. I'm just being regular.
That's super fair.
Especially if you have a friendship where, you become one of the guys. I think you
exactly
one of the guys, Kinsey. So, we at the pool, we having some beers, you sitting next to me, somebody else on the other side. There's so much that we don't know. Now, if they had some video,
some audio,
right? But
what do you think, Cody?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking on this question, obviously, I agree with you guys when it comes to reporters having close personal relationships with players, with coaches, as expected, but it's on a professional level where you may know them a little bit more personally, but it's still knowing, hey, you're a reporter, I'm a player, I'm a coach, there's a line of profession that we cannot cross. I think when it becomes intimate, not saying the situation is, it's all speculation, but if it becomes intimate, obviously, that's a no-go. You cannot do that. Now, I don't know the specifics of their relationship. I don't know what happened outside of these pictures. But yeah, I think if you start to be viewed in an intimate relationship with a coach, with a player, and you're a reporter, you're going to lose respect in the industry. They're not going to take, your opinion as seriously because they think it'll be altered because you'll have a conflict of interest, all these other things. So yeah, I think if you can keep it professional and maybe know them more so on a personal level, the kids' names, the family names, how you're doing personally, different things like that, that's fine. But if it does cross over into the intimate side of things, not saying they are, but that's when it can't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. What? That was just funny to me. That was just funny to me, bro.
All right. I'm going to go another level on this because I don't know what's going on exactly between, as Aqib points out, between Dianna and Coach Vrabel. I don't know for sure. It's not a good look. I agree. And I appreciate everything you just said about your principles in this business because you're right about everything you said. And I have been doing this for a long time. And I'm going to talk quickly about something no one ever talks about, and it's the game within the game. And you guys have played it because I've been playing it for a long time in locker rooms all over this country. It's the deal that gets made, the unwritten, unsaid deal between the reporter / in my case, columnist and the star player, or any player for that matter, anybody in the locker room, because you're going to make a deal without saying so that, hey, Aqib's going to say to me basically between the lines, I'll be available for you 24/7. You can text me anytime, call me anytime, I'll return your call. I'm going to give you great quotes. Every once in a while, off the record, I'm going to give you little scoops, maybe not bombshells, but little scoops about what's really going on inside this football team. And the deal we're going to make is that in return, I want your protection. I want you to, I'm going to buy some insurance from you, Mr. Reporter, where you don't write that negatively about me. If I have a bad game, you kind of gloss over that. If I misbehave a little bit off the field and I get tripped up in something, you're not going to try to run me out of town over that.
Right.
You're going to have my back basically through thick and thin, and it's the game within the game that we all have played and played and played. So in my early days, down through the years, I have seen several female reporters have something with an athlete or a coach and cross the line. And early on, it outraged me because you're selling out, man. Or woman, you're crossing a line that you shouldn't cross. And then these women started getting scoops, like big scoops, because of their relationships inside a team. And I said, well, okay, I guess you did get that back. I'm not sure that's exactly what they were. In the cases I knew, they just sort of fell for the player or the coach. They actually liked them a lot, and they had a relationship that went on for a while. But similarly, I have seen male reporters / columnists become friends with players and coaches to the point that they socialized, that they went to dinner, that they, and that would outrage me also, because I'm like, I'm not going to cross that line. Like, I'm going to keep an arm's length, maybe to a fault. Maybe I played it too hard and fast, but I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to remain completely objective, because if you do mess up on the field or off the field, I'm going to say so. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to talk about it. And I sort of backed off a little bit. Maybe I chilled out a little bit about these kind of relationships, because, to Diana's point, she's very good at what she does professionally. She's very good. And ironically, and maybe fittingly, she has been out front in reporting on A.J. Brown's issues in Philadelphia. And then if you want to put 2 + 2 together, is he bound for New England at some point with Coach Vrabel? Okay. So did she, was she encouraged inside? I'm just throwing out, these are the things that those pictures, these are the questions that they're going to raise, right? Okay. So in the end, it goes on everywhere that you're playing this game, you're making these deals. I don't know if you had any like this where you had a reporter who was kind of your guy.
I got burned by it.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Double cross.
You got burned by
double crossed him.
At SC and in the NFL. I won't say any names, but at SC.
Say their name, fuck them.
No.
Fuck them.
At SC.
Burn them back.
No, fuck them, but I'm not going to say their name.
Hey, burn them back, bro.
But at SC, I felt like, oh, hey, especially starting out early on as a younger player, oh, hey, I can maybe tell this reporter a little, more. Oh, they've taken an interest in me. Cool. Just professional level still. But we told them a couple things, and that was the reporter. When I had a bad game, that was the first one to say how terrible I was and I shouldn't be a starter. Then in the NFL, same thing. Had some family matters go on. Just had a relationship with one of the reporters, strictly professional, but said some things I normally wouldn't say to the media.
Was it in Cleveland?
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Yeah, it happened to me
As soon
too.
as
That
I had a bad
Cleveland
game,
media, man.
He's not the answer. He's terrible. He's not the starter. And it wasn't even that bad. So I learned the hard way, hey, don't trust these people, because they'll be the first ones to turn around and burn you with the report.
I've experienced that too.
Okay.
Specifically in Ohio.
I had good insiders, Skip.
You did?
You did?
Protect me when I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Say it wasn't my fault. Show me some love.
I missed that part of the deal, I guess.
Hey, show me some love, I give you a little scoop.
I ain't really had no deals like that, but you give favor. Like, I don't even like talking to media a lot or early in my career, but it was certain reporters, I'd be like, okay, I'll talk to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you cool.
Show them some love.
For sure.
Thought they were cool with you.
And then,
They don't always burn you, though. I ain't never been burned.
Nah, I got burned a couple times.
But were you talking to any of these reporters when they were in bikinis or no?
No vacation.
I think that
fair.
for me
No,
is
that's
just
fair.
That's the issue.
And I have so much respect for her. She is so talented, and it is unfair to women in this industry. Unfortunately, we do have to hold ourselves to a different standard than the boys having drinks, because as a woman, we're always going to be portrayed that way. So even if it happened or it didn't happen, you just, unfortunately, as a woman, you can't be in those situations because all the guys are going to talk about it.
But we've seen
she's sleeping her way
the
there.
issues in media this past couple years, at some other stations, and like Lee said, through history, it ain't the first time, and it damn sure ain't gonna be the last time.
No, it won't be. No.
All right. Well, we just had to touch on that. I know
Big
that's
Vrabel.
not our normal content, but of course the whole world's talking about it. Let's talk a little bit about.
Brave dog.
You boys are terrible. Okay, so the NFL announced their list of attendees to the NFL draft this year, and it's only 16 names. Ever since COVID-19 virtual draft in 2020, it seems that players are kind of skipping the draft and rather staying home with their families. So it's great when players are at the draft in person and we can kind of get the vibe and everything. So we actually have Gerald at the draft because he started the whole hug trend. I want to pull this up.
With the third pick in the 2010 NFL
Yeah.
Draft,
I saw this, yeah.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Gerald McCoy, defensive tackle, Oklahoma.
The Bucks focus and
Wow. You're a big, nice guy.
See, there's nothing like that, though. Like, I get staying home with your family, but imagine that experience.
That ain't better than being with my family to me.
You don't think?
Fuck nah, I'm covered.
But my family could be there, too. I bring out my important people.
That
I know.
shit right there don't touch my draft day.
Oh, okay. Well,
Man,
we'll
mine
get to
neither.
that.
Mine
But
neither. Don't
TJ,
touch
do you
it.
think players should attend the draft? I think so. You're
I mean,
leaning towards
if they want to, obviously if they want to. But I think it's all about, what your comfort level is, and what if you like to be seen and you want to have that experience, go ahead. But I think that experience is a little bit different than what the experience is now. Right now, you got second rounders that go across the stage, and going in the second and third day they walk across the stage.
Yeah.
Right? It used to be a very exclusive experience. Right,
Yeah.
first rounders only.
Top 15,
You had to
top
be
10
top
guys.
dog, or you get left in the green room waiting around, right? You don't want that. So you better be a guaranteed first rounder if you want to pull up to Radio City. Now they move it around every year. It's just that nostalgia, that exclusivity isn't there anymore. For me, I was a second round pick, top of the second round. Before this draft started, I was drafted. As soon as it started the second day, the first day of it being a 2-day, right? They used to do the first and second round on one day, but then they changed it. Now they did the second round the second day. So I was at home with my family, man. Call came quick. Draft just started. Call came, celebration. I was talking to one of my cousins, and I'm looking at the pictures. We got Browns. I'm like, where'd y'all get all that Browns gear from? Like, it's like, oh yeah, as soon as you got the call, we went out to the store and we grabbed a bunch of Brown gear and came back. I didn't even remember that happening. So just being there with my family, my cousins, my uncles, aunties, my mom, dad, having everybody in the house, right? Those memories, celebrating with the people that you came from ground zero with all the way up, is everlasting for me. It was more important. I think even if I was a first round draft pick, I know I would have stayed at home, right? Leave stayed at home. They came to him, right? They brought the cameras to him. Joe Thomas, they brought him out on the boat. You hope you like boats, because you're going to be recording Joe Thomas get drafted today out at sea. So doing what you want to do, what you comfortable doing, man, I say go for it and do that. Be you, or like G say, be you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do something because it's popular or you're going to get a little attention. It's enough attention, especially right now. There's cameras everywhere. You can do whatever you want to do and be on camera. You can stream it from the house, do your thing that way. But I think just the exclusivity isn't there, and people or these young players are realizing they got the money, they got, the notoriety already. It is a great thing to go across stage and hug Odell, but, I would rather spend it with my family. And I think a lot of players are, kind of going into that space as well, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree with Bub. I feel the exact same way. I don't think you have to go. I think this is a dream come true day, and you should spend that day how you see fit. You know what I'm saying? if you always had a dream of I'm gonna walk across that stage and hug Goodell, then go do that. You're right. You could take 10 of your family members with you, and y'all could dress up, and do it that way. But you should just be comfortable. I think you should just be comfortable. I had the opportunity to go to the draft, and I chose not to go. I'm like, man, I want to be at home with my family. The cameras was there. The Hey Rookie show was there, so I was on the show. The cameras was still all there, so we still was seeing. It was a real show. You know what I'm saying? So my day was unmatched, man. I wouldn't change it for the world. It was way more than just going across the stage hugging Goodell. I hugged my mom, my dad.
Yeah.
Like shit, we cooked, we drank, like we danced.
Yeah.
Like we had a fucking party, bro. That was a life-changing day for my family. And I didn't want it to be nowhere else but where we all could be comfortable. If motherfuckers wanted to smoke. You know what I'm saying? I wanted everybody to be as comfortable as you can be. You know what I'm saying? I told the cameras, hey, if we doing the fucking show, we gonna do a lot of editing, right? Cause you feel me? Like, we finna be here. The hood finna be here, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was edited perfectly, you know what I'm saying? It was a life-changing day. And I think they do a good job letting guys decide. It shouldn't be like, you have to be here at the draft or you can't come. I think they do a great job letting the guys who they ask you to be here, you got the opportunity to be here, you could decline if you want to decline. So, man, I think they do a good job.
Were you sure you're going to be a first-round pick?
I pretty much was sure, yeah. I had Ozzie told me they had the 11 pick. He told me, hey, if you on the board at 11, we picking you. Shit, he ain't picked me. He traded that bitch to 16. Then he picked Flacco.
He did.
Then I had the Bucks at 20. Gruden said, hey, if you come to 20 and if you see number, be expecting that 813 area code.
Really?
That was 2 teams. I had another team. I can't even remember who the third one was. It was somebody else whoever was like 16 or 17. I had them too. Had 3 teams told me, if you on the board at this pick right here, we picking you. So I was pretty sure. Shit, I had the numbers. They said I couldn't run. I went and ran a 4.4.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm like, shit, well, how can I not go first round? I got a little
the
trouble.
mock drafts had Mike Jenkins out of South Florida going ahead of you. And so I thought they'd do the Florida kid maybe.
I mean, shit, maybe. I mean, people did go ahead of me, though. Leo McKelvin and DRC, 2 guys who they didn't have ahead of me, end up going ahead of me.
Yeah.
But I thought I was going in the first round because, shit, I balled and then I ran good. So I'm like, shit, I'm going in the first round. And then motherfucker 3 people told me I'm going in the first round. So I felt like that's why they asked me.
Yeah, were you invited to go?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I was invited to go. I'm cool. I don't want to go. I want to do this from home.
I agree 100% with both TJ and Aqib. This is the time to be selfish. If your dream is to go walk across that stage and hear your name called and hug Roger Goodell and hold the jersey up and have the fans screaming your name and then do the post-draft interviews and all the social media things, then go do that because it's your day. But if you'd rather go home and be around your friends and family and your loved ones and everyone that helped you get to this position in the first place, then that's also your decision. And that's what I wanted to do. Now, I wasn't invited to the draft, but even if I was, I still would have been a guy that wanted to stay home and be around my parents and my brother and my family and my coach and my friends that all, invested in me and helped me, be able to have one of the greatest days of my life and achieve my dream of being drafted into the NFL. And I love what Aqib said, too. The best part for me wasn't the draft, because obviously you're sitting there nervous looking at the screen.
Yeah.
The best part was after you got drafted, being around your loved ones and hugging my mom, hugging my dad, and hugging my brother, and all these people that helped me get to where I wanted to be. So yeah, I'm with them. I think staying home is a great decision. But again, if you're a guy that wants to be there and wants an opportunity to walk across that stage, you've worked your ass off your whole life, so you deserve that.
Yep. Okay. Nothing wrong with it.
I hear what all 3 of you just said, and I see it completely upside down because I'm looking at it through a different lens. I'm looking at it through the fans' lens. As a lifelong diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, I love the league that you guys played in, like maybe to a fault. I live for it. Yeah. Draft night is Christmas morning for me as a fan. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not making too big a deal out of your choices not to go, but in the end, I want you to be there for me as a fan, and and we are going to help pay your salary, whatever it's going to be, because you're in the entertainment business. And I need you to entertain me with the image of seeing you waiting to be called, and then your name's called, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me to see you as a potential life changer for my football team. Like, whoa, I got Aqib Talib now? Whoa. And I wanted to see you, whoever the Aqib was for my Cowboys, at a table with your closest family around you, hug all them, and then get up and be congratulated by other potential first-round picks all sitting all around you in the crowd. And I wanted to see you suited and booted in your finest, whatever you chose to wear that night, see how you presented yourself. And then I wanted to see you walk across that stage, because it's once in a lifetime, man. And I want to see you hug the commissioner. And then I want to see your stand-up interview just off the side of the stage with whoever's doing the draft at that point. Because now I'm going to see you on camera, live. How do you present yourself to me? How do you convince me you're going to change our life now? Mm-hmm. And that's a big deal for a fan. And it started back in 2017. Myles Garrett said, I'm going to stay home. Okay, that's your prerogative, and I got it. Mm-hmm. And all the points you made are completely valid. But then Baker didn't go the next year, and I'm like, come on, man. Because I thought he could be the first pick in the draft, and he was. And I wanted to see him present himself as the first pick walking across the stage, because I'm a big Baker guy. And then 2020 was Joe, but it was the pandemic, so he couldn't really be there. And then Trevor Lawrence said no, and then Trevon Walker said no big deal. But I got why Shedeur didn't last year, because I think he was getting the word that he's going to be like worse than Aaron Rodgers was, stuck in the green room. You know, Shadeur's going to be stuck all the way through the night. So he made the right choice to stay with family and friends at home. But I want to respect and appreciate that Kyler went, and Bryce Young went, and Caleb went, and Cam Ward went. And there are 16 players who are going this year. Our guy David Bailey's going to be there, and Jeremiah Love, and Arvell Reese, and on and on. So a lot of the top guys are going to walk across the stage. And I get it now, the fourth-round pick walks across the stage, and it's been diluted. But in the end, I almost wish that it would be a requirement to go for the fans, and I'm just speaking for the fans here. But
how are you going to require? How do you not going to draft?
How do you know who's going to be a first-round pick and who's not? Because it looks you may be a top 15 pick. You may be a guy that's a first-round pick. I mean, Lamar, I thought should have went way higher than he did. He almost fell out of the first round. Will Levis a couple years ago.
He did.
A lot of people saying he's going top 5. He fell out of the first round.
Did.
So I think that for a player puts a lot of unnecessary stress on them if it's a day they choose they want to be home with their friends and family. And I get it from the fan perspective. 100% I do, Skip. And the fans drive this business. It's an entertainment business. And if you're a great player, obviously you're playing for the fan base because they love and adore you. But at the same time, even if you're not there for the draft day, what do you do the very next day? You get on a plane and you go to the facility.
You do.
And you do interviews and you talk about how excited you are. I was a third-round pick. That next morning, I was flying to Cleveland because I had to go do a press conference. So they do it all the way up until the third round. So you're going to see them the next day inside your organization.
Draft night, Christmas morning. It's just like a
I get it. No, I get
like,
it. And I get the excitement factor to it. I love watching the guys walk across stage, but they're going to be playing for your franchise, hopefully for a long time. So you're going to see a lot of them on the field. That moment is theirs, in my opinion.
How do you make it mandatory? Like, even if you're a guaranteed top 15 pick, it's like, okay, we're going to mandate you come to the draft. Like, well, okay, I don't want to come. What now? You find me with my first check? I'm not draftable now? Like,
I mean, they could find, they put fines everywhere else. Why couldn't they add a fine to not come to the draft?
But I understand for the fans, but we do so much for the fans.
No, you do.
Like, literally, like, let me just have my day.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? My first day of becoming a pro, let that be for me, and all the rest of my time gonna be, like, you have mandatory appearances. Like, some of these guys, you see them at the hospital and stuff, they probably ain't choose to do that. Some of them did choose. Some of them like, hey, we going to the hospital. You got to do so much. They made me buy a section of 30 seats called Keeb's Corners. What you want to name it? You want to do it? It's $120,000. Nah, I'm cool on that. All the first round picks do it. Well, shit, I guess I got to do it then.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So they make you do so much for these fans already. So we do enough. You know what I'm saying? Just, if I can have one day, just let me have my draft day.
Well, this is why it's good, like, when we get your opinion, because we're obviously coming from, like, a selfish fan place. You know, like we love this moment, but I never thought of, I mean, that's great for you. Your guys.
You do so much for the fans.
I love seeing the draft, whether they come across the stage. Or I love to see their family settings, like who they got in the house. They pick up their phone and mama over here, daddy, girlfriend.
Exactly. Where
you
they
get a lot of
at?
entertainment from that. CD Lamb snatching the phone from his girl, like all that shit is entertaining to me. Just watch, because unless you go to the draft as a fan, you're not really there seeing everything live anyway. So you watching it from the tube, regardless whether he at home or he running across the stage. But yeah, I get you, Skip.
And then, real quick on Fernando Mendoza, his mom has a hard time traveling.
Yeah.
She did go to his games last year, but I give him a pass for this because I think it's easier for her to stay in Miami. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, that will do it for another episode of Gridiron presented by Underdog. We will see you back on after the weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great time. We will see you on Monday. Woo, woo.